Hi, so today on Acting, we're going to be talking about demo reels. So demo reel is essentially a reel, like a short piece of footage or sound if you're doing voice acting, usually like 2 to 5 minutes, depending on it, that basically highlights your work and stuff you've done. So there are different kinds of reels, one being uh, demos or short clips of live action work that you've done on camera, and the other just being basically voice work, like character work. If you don't have any footage yet, like if you haven't shot anything, you haven't done any voice acting or anything, then you can come up with your own stuff. If you're into voice acting, that's pretty simple. You just put together some characters, do some voices, and you can make your own reel.
Compile as many examples as you can, play around with the different examples, look at a bunch of different existing examples of voice reels, other actors that put stuff out there, and model yourself after existing artists that have their show reels online. This for sure, every market's got a different type of reel that they want, and especially with the voice reels. So you'll want to see what that particular market that you're in, what type of stuff they're putting together, and then you add up all of the body of work that you have that you're creating and that you're sampling. You'll want to specifically hear what's out there, make a list of what you like, and then just start slowly putting it together, and then you can like edit it down to the best examples of what you have that match your market.
Yeah, and because it's only sound, if you have sound capturing equipment, you can pretty much do anything. And there are some people who will do narration. There are some people who will do character work with like different voices. And some people just do straight up voice acting without in their own voice without doing any funny voices or effects or stuff like that. For video, it's a bit more complicated. If you can write or direct and you have access to equipment and people can help you make a short film, you can just make your own project. You can put together a reel that is you basically doing monologue work, or you can do some scene work as part of an audition.
When you're just starting out, the thing you have the most control over is doing this type of show reel, which is either like recording yourself doing the different monologues, or getting together with a friend and recording yourself doing a variety of scenes. This is the thing, is because you're picking the monologues, you're picking the scenes, you're picking everything, and you're also picking the amount of work that goes into it as far as like costumes and makeup and lighting, and you're also controlling the framing. My recommendation is maybe take about, decide what you're going to do first, like if it's the monologue ones for example. Say I'm going to do three or four monologues that are maybe 1 to 2 minutes long, and they're going to show a little bit of variety. Maybe the same type of thing you would do maybe for for a producer or a director or a casting director that calls you in to look at you, or maybe even a potential talent agent who invites you in and says, hey, I want you to perform a monologue or a series of monologues. Or they say that as an actor you're supposed to always have like 2 or 3 monologues ready to perform. It's not as common now these days, but it's still required. You're still would be diligent to have 3 monologues ready.
Yeah, here in Toronto we don't never use monologues, but it does happen. And usually when it happens, you just treat it like a scene.
So traditionally, while you're going through school or doing training or whatever, the practice is to always practice with monologues or to prepare monologues. So since you should be familiar with what a monologue is and be trained in it and be useful in it, and it's free to do a monologue basically, because you don't necessarily need other actors or need a lot of different complications. You can basically organize it yourself. So what I say is that for this first type of reel, which could be even better because you're more control than doing an endless series of student films where you never get the footage, or any other type of complicated thing that's shot from a further like a distance, maybe footage from a play or something, whatever. It's basically a combination of examples of specifically what you need. So my suggestion is to pick about 2 to 3 different monologues, prepare them, maybe even with makeup and costumes and wardrobes or whatever, And then for each one of them, you're going to record the full monologue, and you're going to record yourself doing from start to finish all in one take, because the key to this is that everybody wants to see no cuts or edits. They want to see that you're really, really acting. So you're going to perform these, you're going to set up the camera, and you're going to pick a framing that could be anything from your knees up or from like maybe your chest up. You're going to set a framing, fix that framing down, and then you're going to perform the whole monologue from start to finish straight to camera, as if the camera were another person that you're performing the monologue for. Then, once you've done this full monologue, you're going to do maybe 2 or 3 of them with all your different makeup changes and your wardrobe changes or whatever. Now that gives you all the footage that you need. With about 2 or 3 different monologues recorded, you can take the best 20 seconds to 60 seconds from each monologue, and you can mix it up in any order, using 1 bit, 2 bits from the same one, any order, any bit. Mix it up showing your best acting work. And you can use those best 20-second to 60-second bits from each of the monologues to create around a 2-minute long video showreel that's like your monologue, a self-tape monologue showreel. Now you've got something that shows your best work out of these best 3 monologues that you've picked, crafted, and worked, a good demonstration. And that's something that's really, really useful because twofold. One, you can use the entire monologues, which you can post them on a YouTube channel, which everybody should get. We'll get into that later. But you could post the full monologues on your YouTube channel and take the best bits to edit a showreel, the first type of showreel, and you can post that on YouTube and use that showreel to market yourself and as part of your brand.
Another one is you can also just do scenes in audition style, and this is very useful because you generate the kind of footage that casting directors are used to seeing. So for example, you can have this 2-person scene, keep it nice and simple, and you deliver it in I guess a blank background, either standing or sitting, straight to the camera with a reader, like you would in a real audio, in a real video audition. And that basically right there showcases your acting. No cutting, no editing at all. Just show the full scene from beginning to end. You probably want to go for like 1 minute or 2. And if you could do 2 scenes that are contrasting and keep the reel to about 3 or 4 minutes at the most, that'll probably be the most useful. So you go in, you do 1 scene, then you do the other one, and the only thing you really need is just a title card that has your name on it, your contact info, and then the scene that you're performing, and then you put it out there. The good thing with these promo reels, as they call them, is that they give you kind of footage that you can use to show to agents if you're looking for an agent, prospective agents, or to people if you're looking for jobs and you're just starting out and you don't have any promotional, any like actual professional footage that you've shot so far. There are studios and agencies that provide professional services for actors that specialize in doing this kind of thing. And the prices there's a bit of a price range, but they're somewhat affordable. The other thing, of course, you can do is make it yourself. You gotta know a bit about editing, but if you've done some work on crew before, if you have editing experience, if you've gone to film school for this kind of stuff, that can really help you out. So Rocco here has actually studied editing and has done it professionally for a while. So he makes his own reels, and he's got some advice for you on how to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to go through and doing it. And like I said, the first thing you want to do is keep in mind who your audience is. Is it a drama reel? Is it a commercials reel? Is it a presenter's reel? All the material would match what your purpose is and who your audience is. So the one thing you want to do for all of them is you want to try to keep it short. You're going to force yourself to make stronger edit decisions and stronger, which is going to show you off in a better light. Trying to make it specific because we do have multiple skill sets. And so like, you know, it'll guide you. It'll help guide you when you know like what you're editing for.
If you have specific skills that you can showcase in a different reel, then you might as well have an extra reel. Like for example, if you're a martial artist and you want to put together a martial art stunt fighting reel, that could work too. I know a guy who's an expert in medieval history, and he's an actor, but he has a day job too, which is of course making props and costumes for recreations and for film and TV, and he's got a separate reel.
As soon as you have enough commercial work or other work, you'll want to start separating your drama or your dramatic acting stuff from your commercials, and have one that's specifically all your television commercials, whether it be for the internet or actually broadcast on television. But you want to do that because you'll have a chance to showcase your dramatic work for more dramatic work, and your commercials for commercials. So they have specific purposes, and it looks more professional when you know what you're doing.
Yeah, you're tailoring your application, the promotional materials you submit for consideration before the audition, to the specific project you have. That's always good.